Hello, everyone. Wanted to welcome here to this conversation, Colleen Lennox, and wanted to talk to Colleen here a little bit about how she got to where she is today in her field, and talk a little bit about some of the things that she's seeing in the field of technology, and really some of the things that she's looking at in terms of when she's looking for people in terms of placement, some of the trends that she's seeing, and just wanted to have an open conversation about about our technology field and security as well. So, Colleen, welcome, and hope you're ready to have a good conversation here.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So, can you tell me a little bit about your journey to how you got to where you are today?
Sure. Well, I was a political science major in college, and when I graduated, I ended up in recruiting. And I was always in the IT side of things, or the more technical side of things, more engineering, IT. And for 30 years, that's all I've been doing. I hate to say 30 years, but 30 years.
All right, well, we're all right there with you.
And so I've always been on the IT side of placement, and I've seen like all the trends, everything that has come through the years, as you know. Probably about 5 years ago, I sort of fell into cybersecurity. It wasn't really anything I've ever touched on in my life because it was basically new. It was, prior to that, it was mostly like on the networking side. Yeah. So like 5 years ago, I started working with Penn Medicine. All their opportunities were for security engineers. So I started recruiting in that space, and I fell in love with this group of people. And I wanted to spend my time focusing only on cybersecurity jobs and cyber placement. So I started Cyber Job Central, and we are a job board and placement company for those in cyber.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned your start in political science. I actually thought about that too when I was younger and thinking about getting into political science, and the question always came, if you don't get directly into politics, then what are you going to do? But it's great, you found, politics is it's more than what you see on the news, right? Yeah. Politics is learning a lot of skills, especially the skills that you need, for your role. So that's very interesting to see kind of how that transformed from political science into what you're doing today. So, what's the most difficult part about your current role? Like what do you find challenging in your current role?
Well, I think the job market's it's great for people looking for a job, but there's not enough people out there to fill all the jobs that are available. So I think that the shortage of cybersecurity is, it's difficult. And I think, and it's also, there's a problem with entry into the job market once you get out of school. Right. So I think people see that problem, and there's so many great people working on trying to fix that. The one thing that, so many people do is they get out of school after getting a cyber degree or IT degree, and then they start getting certifications because, so, I mean, my one piece of advice would be to anyone in college, try to do any internship you possibly can, even if it's for free, just to get just to get your hands wet.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I always try to think about why we have such trouble filling roles in cybersecurity. Is it really that, and I often ask myself this question as well, is it really that we're looking for unicorns and they're hard to find, or is it really truly that there just isn't enough people out there to fill the roles that are open? Is it really that the demand is so high that there's not enough supply, or is it just that we're picky in cybersecurity? Do you have any thoughts on that? Or
I think there's so many niches within cybersecurity. Right. I mean, it's such a big field. I mean, people think cybersecurity, you think hacker. Yep. So everybody thinks they're going to get out of school, or their interest is to work on a red team or a blue team, or, I think that's what comes to people's mind first and foremost when you think about cybersecurity. But cybersecurity is huge, and there's the risk element to it. There's third-party risk, there's GDPR, there's privacy. So I've placed lawyers within cybersecurity. There's so many little niche areas within it that I think people don't necessarily know that when they get out. So right. I think that they're just looking to find a job.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's just in cyber. I think that's in all majors. My son's is senior at in college right now, and he's a marketing major. And I don't necessarily know he knows all the roles that are available to him when he gets out.
Right.
And that's maybe something that they learn when they get out of school. But I think it's something that definitely that when you're in college, you should start looking into that. What does, what is a risk assessment? How do you get involved? What does that entail? Because they're not all technical jobs. Very few of them are super technical.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And that's something that, I teach at Temple University, and I get asked often about, how do I get into cybersecurity? And my first question is always like, well, what are you interested in cybersecurity? Because even my role in application security is fundamentally different than what happens in security operations center, or what happens
Right.
in governance, risk and compliance, and infosec. And there's just so many different fields, and which there's good aspects to that, in the sense that there's a lot to choose from and a lot of different paths to go. But at the same time, it's not like you graduate and say, I'm going to get in cybersecurity. It's like, well, you have to pick.
Okay. Narrow it down. Let's define it. Yeah. And I think that is really hard. And I think people don't know. I love working with college students. I love working with people and really just helping them discover, what do they want to do?
Right.
Do you want to work in a SOC? Do you want to do pen testing? Do you want to be in a risk assessment? So there's so many different areas that you can concentrate on. And I do think that the further you get into cybersecurity, it is pretty niched. So
Right.
you can as your career grows, you do develop. So when you say purple squirrel, looking for this needle in a haystack type of person, you do become specialized in a certain area within cybersecurity.
Yeah. So what do you find is most rewarding about your role? Kind of taking it to
I love finding people. I love finding people jobs. I love finding the right person for my clients, first of all. And I love understanding what they're looking for and finding them, matching them with the right person, and being able to get someone a great opportunity. It's, to me, it's almost, even though it's my job, it doesn't feel like a job.
right.
And I'm lucky enough to have been doing it for so long that I have great relationships. And, because the whole thing with, in the world, like, a lot of people may think recruiters have a tainted name. Like, I've all these recruiters call me and then no one ever called me back. But, it's trust on you need to trust your recruiter, the candidate and the client. And that's how you win these, like, developing these matches.
Right. So, one of the reasons I like doing these talks is I want to make sure that we have a good opportunity for young women that are trying to get into just, whether it's technology or whether it's security more specifically. But, what are maybe some pointers that you could think of in terms of, what maybe some young women that are looking to get into this field, something that I know you talked about, getting internships and things like that, but maybe specifically for women, are there groups out there that you're aware of, or maybe some good material or something like that? Not to put you on the spot there, but anything you can think of?
Yeah, well, I'm part of the WESIS Delaware Valley group, which is, I think, a great organization. We have about this year we're only doing about 4 events because of COVID and everything's virtual, but definitely sign up. I'll send you the link that you can share.
Sure.
It's a great group of women, so helpful. Just an awesome group that anybody in this area should be involved with. And I also think that, speaking as a woman to women, I would say that the one thing that's great about this space is that you do have a lot of flexibility. You do have the ability to work from home. I know things have changed during COVID, but I don't know if IT has always been able to have a more flexible work from home lifestyle.
Right.
So, and I know women, sometimes they, we, if we get married and if we have children or whatever our life path may be, there comes a point where we have to pause and think, do I want a job with flexibility?
Right.
And, I'm saying that as a working mom who, raised 3 kids, started 2 businesses, all while working from home. So it's a big thing. And I think it's so available within this space that, it's definitely something that most people, I think women should look into, especially if they have an interest in
Right.
technology in any way, shape, or form. And again, you don't need to be technical, because there's tons of opportunities within this space that are not really technical, but
Yeah.
they work in the text, they're considered in the technical area within an organization.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great point. So what gets you motivated in the morning? What gets you out of bed?
I mean, I love it. I love what I do. I think it's fun. I mean, I get to talk to people all day long and give them advice and try to help them in their careers. I get to talk to clients, help find them people. So I love, it's, for me, it's very rewarding because, especially when people are first getting out of school, it's, it's hard. It's hard to have someone give you the time of day. So
Right.
I like to at least share part of my day with helping someone that, I can maybe, even if I can't help them personally, I can point them in the right direction.
Right.
And that's why I think belonging to these different organizations, there's many of them, especially for women in cyber, but to really put yourself out there to network, people do want to help. It's great to have a mentor. I don't know if Temple has a mentorship program, but there's so many women out there that are willing to help and support other women, that I would recommend everyone have a mentor while they're still in school, not when they're getting out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I often get asked about, what, career advice and things like that, from students in my class. And, it's always great to, it's good to remember that, we were there at one point, right? We were all starting our career at some point, and you're right. I mean, it's hard to get the time of day from certain people, and we always see that kind of that vicious circle where it's, you need experience to get this job, but in order to get the job, to build the experience, you know what I mean? It's just this circle of you don't have enough experience to get a job, but you need the job to get the experience. And
yeah,
so
I do think, but I definitely think that people are having an aha to that moment. Like, people are being a little bit, I've seen it in the past 6 months that people are being a little, I think with COVID, when people are like, we need, an entry level with 2 to 6 years experience.
Right.
I think, again, I just don't think people know how to write job descriptions. And there's so many times people are just copying and pasting from another job description.
Right.
So, don't not apply to a job that's entry level that says 2 to 4 years experience. The one thing I think when people get, I will give this advice, whether it's helpful or not. But when you're doing your resume, make sure it's specific to what you want to do. I know kids work during college. My kids do also, but you don't need to put like your waitressing experience or this experience. Just keep it to the classes the organizations that you've done in school, projects you've done in school, so that you can have a buzzword friendly resume.
Right.
Because that's honestly, I know it's not fair, but everything is an algorithm, and it's how recruiters find people just based on buzzwords.
Right.
So unless you have great family connections or a great network, your resume is going to be found through buzzwords.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because I just listened to a podcast this morning. I forget, it might've been Wall Street Journal, but they were talking about how there was a rise in the like video resume, and one of the things they pointed out there was that, companies haven't figured out how to run their algorithms against, video resumes, and people have to sit down and watch the resume, which is, good or bad, because,
right.
It kind of gums up the works in terms of, getting through the system. But at the same time, like, you can get, a good feel for that person just by watching that video, as opposed to, reading through a resume, because then it's just black and white on a piece of paper.
Yeah, something that I do with my clients is I'll do a video job description where I'll interview them just like this and say, tell me about the job, tell me what you're looking for, what's going to work in your organization. So, and that works, and that's helpful too for someone going on an interview. Then they have like, this is what this person looks like.
Right.
You see their demeanor with me, that it's a comfortable situation. So maybe you're less uptight when you get on this Zoom world interview.
Yeah. Well, so how can people find you? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Cyberjobcentral.com. On LinkedIn, just Colleen Lennox. And, obviously, if anybody wants to join WESIS, it's WY, I think CYS, but I'll
Yes.
send you the link.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll send you the link. And that's a great place. I would recommend we have a lot of college kids in there, and there's so many people that are willing to help.
right. Yeah. Well, great. Hey, Colleen, it was great talking to you, and really appreciate your time. And
Sure.
thank you very much for taking the time to talk about this. I know it's really important for a lot of people that are trying to get started, and it's great direction. So really
Yeah,
appreciate your time.
yeah, you're welcome. And it's a great career path. So I would highly recommend. So
Oh yeah. No, I tell my students all the time, even if you don't get into, because the class that I teach is, it's application security. And I always tell them that, like, hey, even if you're not going to get into security, a way to differentiate yourself from the other developers that all the colleges are churning out is to say that you took this class, you got some background in security, and that's definitely going to, put you a little bit above, the other people. So
right.
looking
Absolutely.
for people. So
Absolutely.
all
Well,
right.
thanks, Eric. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good night.
All right.